I noticed there was a tiger doing this shit behind me and shit. And then the Thailandians, they'll come with a fucking stick and one of the reasons I joined the United States Navy over other branches is because I believed at the time that the Navy would offer me interesting choices and locations that other branches may not necessarily offer. So it's time for a hot take. On this video, let's talk about the places I've been to on deployment.
Now my whole team split up. I'm like, damn man, what the fuck? These young bucks making them bucks. We had the whole city with us. It's like Party City with us.
What's poppin' YouTube? 911 the baby goat. Welcome to the Goat Farm. I got something for you. Today's video was brought to you by none other than me. Yep. Thank you. Clap it up, clap it up. If you visit this channel regularly, then you will know that oftentimes I make videos based off of the questions that you guys leave in the comment section below. So if you have a video that you would like to see in the future, just drop it down in the comment section below after you subscribe to the channel and then like the video. Now, on to my hot takes. San Diego, California. Now, I know a lot of you wouldn't consider San Diego, California a port visit, but it was my first experience of what it would be like to be in the Navy. You see, originally I was stationed in Washington State, and what my ship used to do whenever we had to go out to sea for official business before deployment, we would stop by in San Diego normally for a weekend before we actually pull back out to sea. So while no, it's not your typical port visit, it was the training wheels to understanding how a port visit more or less will go. My thoughts on San Diego? It's expensive. The people are beautiful. Like no shit. Like there's some beautiful people in San Diego. Motherfuckers really take care of themselves down in Southern California. There's a lot to do. It's pretty difficult to get bored in that city. It rarely ever rains, which could be a good or a bad thing depending on how you like weather. The nightlife is amazing. In fact, the nightlife is delicioso. In fact, go to San Diego, California on Halloween night. You'll see exactly what I mean. The second one would be Hawaii. Hot takes on Hawaii. Hawaii is extremely beautiful. Like, you know them calendars and shit you see with like the beautiful, like transparent oceans and shit? Like Hawaii legit looks like that. It's fucking beautiful. It is a tourist trap though. If you're ever visiting Hawaii, you definitely want to get away from Honolulu. Like travel a little bit, because if you stay in like the downtown area, is more or less just like any other place that you visit in America. I don't know, go towards the volcanoes or the jungles where they filmed Jurassic Park or some shit. However, it is extremely expensive. At the time, I believe a gallon of milk in Hawaii was like fucking damn near $10. The cost of living in Hawaii is but shit retarded. Manila, aka the Philippines. That shit was trash. I'm sorry, I gotta be honest. When I pulled up in Manila, the water was literally brown. Like the ocean water had so much shit in it. I had never seen brown ocean water ever in my life. It looked like Shrek invited his entire family and they took the world's finest shit in the ocean and then wiped their ass with the rocks. Manila's first impression on me was, yeah, not that good. And the people were annoying as hell. Everywhere I went, people just kept saying, hello, sir. Hi, sir. Goodbye, sir. What are you doing, sir? Do you want this, sir? And I know that sounds petty, but I've been on deployment. Hell, at this point, call me a... Never mind. I could just tell that they knew that I was in the military, and I wanted to forget that I was in the military for a second. But as a black guy with a damn near bald head and no facial hair, it was hard to blend in. So they always did the most, and a byproduct of that is me knowing that they know that I'm in the military. The one good thing that I can say about Manila, though, is that it is extremely cheap. There are some areas that you got to be aware of, though, that you're not allowed to go to in Manila. Like, for example, in Manila, there was a bar where people would literally pick up little people and just start chunking their ass. Obviously, sailors were not allowed to do it. Obviously, there were some sailors that probably did it anyway. But yeah, it was just interesting that they have that in the first place. Most countries have an off-limits area, and that was Manila's. South Korea. Hot takes on South Korea. The internet is fucking amazing. I think it's been beat now, but at the time, I think South Korea had like some of the world's fastest internet. And the only reason I know this is because the internet was so fucking fast at the time that I had to Google the shit to figure out why the fuck was it so fast. Hell, I remember when I went, 5G wasn't even a thing in America. It was a thing in South Korea though. The nightlife in South Korea is very lit. The hotel prices are extremely affordable. And South Korea was the first place that I experienced a bidet. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Boy, when I leaned my ass cheeks over that damn bidet and the water glazed my asshole like a goddamn Krispy Kreme donut. You didn't even really need toilet paper afterwards. Only to dry off, not to really clean yourself. The shit was amazing, literally. The bad thing that I gotta say about South Korea though is that you are gonna have a lot of people trying to sell you some bullshit shit. Sell you clothing that they pretend is real that's really not real. They're gonna give you a price, and if you don't accept it, they're gonna try to talk it down, but really, whatever price that you end up with is too fucking high to begin with. There is a lot of shady shit going on in South Korea. It's honestly not uncommon to see forms of human trafficking which they train the military on. So be on your P's and Q's for shit like that. But honestly, South Korea was one of the funnest ports that I've been to. Singapore. I got a love-hate relationship with Singapore. Hot takes on Singapore, it's extremely humid. Florida humidity don't got shit on Singapore. Singapore is extremely strict. Like last time I checked, bubblegum was illegal in Singapore. And one thing about Singapore, they don't play games at all. In fact, before we even pull up to Singapore, it's mandatory that we watch this video on what can happen if you break their laws in this country. They made us watch a video of a man literally getting his ass ripped, getting the flesh ripped off of his ass. I'm talking about they caned this man in the same spot like 300 fucking times. Where literally you see the white bone of his ass and the flesh just coming off. And at first I thought that was the military just trying to scare us. But I was on one of the underground trains in Singapore and I was just watching a casual commercial while I was sitting down. And it had this random man run up and like tap a girl on the butt and try to run off. And then the commercial was like, if you see things like this, make sure to tell the authorities. He can and most likely will be caned. And I'm sitting here right beside a 7-year-old and shit looking at the commercial like, what the fuck? Cool thing about Singapore though, I don't know if every hotel does this, but I didn't get a really expensive hotel, but my hotel came with a complimentary smartphone. And that came in extremely handy considering that my phone service was not on while I was on deployment. But I was able to use my hotel phone to like call friends, scroll on the internet and shit. Pretty dope. Oh, I almost forgot. Singapore is extremely fucking clean. You can damn near lick the ground in Singapore. If you did it, I'd definitely cook your ass. I'm just saying it's clean as fuck. One of the reasons it's clean as fuck, Singapore does not play that bullshit with nobody. They strict as hell. But if you don't start no shit, it really won't be no shit. Dubai. Man, Dubai makes America look broke. Poor. Section 8. The malls in Dubai. I'm talking huge with like Egyptian carvings and paintings every fucking where. These motherfuckers in the mall, they have a grocery store. They have like a 5-star restaurant / movie theater. I watched Aquaman in Dubai and I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And like while I'm watching the movie, I get my own fucking blanket that's fresh out the fucking plastic. I get my own fucking waiter. All I gotta do is press a button and that motherfucker there in 3 seconds like Alfred. You get to choose between 3-course meals and shit. I'm talking about I had the fucking fancy tea with the little bougie square ice sugar cubes and shit, and I had so much space between me and the next person, like literally I can just make a star with my body and still have enough space. And a buddy of mine told me that he went to a movie theater where the screen was a fucking waterfall. I went camel riding at night in the desert, watching belly dancers throw fire around and shit while I'm eating shish kebabs. Dubai was extremely fucking dope. I will say though, some of the outskirts of Dubai is shady than a motherfucker. Don't get caught slipping by your damn self. You will have people harassing the shit out of you trying to sell you some gold, and they do not know what the fuck no mean.
Hey, my friend, I have the perfect deal for you.
I'm straight.
You're interested. Listen, come here.
I'm good.
I have the perfect deal for you. I go down 30%. Are you
Damn, I'm
interested?
good.
Are you interested?
I'm straight.
My friend,
I'm good.
I have the perfect
I'm
deal
good.
for you.
I'm good.
For you, my friend.
I'm good.
My friend, listen to me. No,
I'm gonna definitely butcher this name, but Merce France. I definitely fucked that name up. But France, extremely fucking nice. Cold as hell, but I love the environment. The wine is amazing. The pizza was on point. The ice cream, god damn, that was some good ice cream. The coffee, the tea. I just love the food in France. A lot of beautiful architecture. Really, the only thing negative I can say about France from my experience is that French people are arrogant as fuck. And I feel like they low-key don't like Americans. But then again, Americans are arrogant as fuck. And low-key, we don't like nobody. So, we even. Thailand. Thailand is like Vegas, but on crack and ecstasy and shrooms with 3 shots of Henny and more ecstasy. Thailand is really a fucking jungle. Any random wild ass story that you hear about Thailand, the funny thing about it is that it's probably true. You will definitely see some absolutely weird, random off the wall shit in Thailand. They even got strip clubs where like the women are like putting blades in they meow and like shooting it out like it's a fucking Call of Duty semi-automatic. You be walking along the streets and all of a sudden there's just this random truck that just picks up this random girl and they drive the fuck off. Thailand's just weird, but it's so weird. That's what's fun about it. It's like, while yes, it has a lot of things that tourists can do, but because Thailand is so random, it's likely you can have your own story from it. When I was in Thailand, me and some friends went to go take pictures with tigers and shit. Tigers that were not on any type of leash. And while the shit was fun, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, not only were there some tigers that were in a cage that was like prancing back and forth because it was ready to eat my ass, but like I was taking pictures and shit, and then when I look at the picture, I noticed there was a tiger doing this shit behind me and shit. And then the Thailandians, they'll come with a fucking stick and and while yes, it tamed the tiger for the second, I'm sitting here like, this a fucking tiger. Y'all probably been beating the shit out them damn tigers since they was a fucking tiglet, but it ain't a tiglet no more. Let me get the fuck out of here before he remembers it's a goddamn tiger. Anyway, Thailand is definitely fun and one of my favorite port visits that I visited. And the last place that I've technically been is Norfolk, Virginia. Hot take on Norfolk, Virginia. Fuck Norfolk, Virginia. Avoid that place at all costs. The fucking gas stations close like at 8 o'clock with fucking iron rails and shit. Man, I'm telling you right now, people gonna hype the shit out of Norfolk, Virginia when you join the Navy. And while yes, it does have its benefits considering how large of a military community there is there, fuck Norfolk, especially if you're not planning on retiring in the Navy. My humble opinion, West Coast is the best coast. 9/11 the baby goat. Thank you guys so much for joining the Goat Farm. Be sure to comment down below what you would like to see next. Like the video on your way out, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.
So it's like meant to you're supposed to get like bullshit gifts for people.
It's like a game, kind of like a funny game.
Right.
Like they'll give you a pocket pussy or something.